I could do Wednesday next week if you want to do a bring your own beer kind of thing.
Yeah.
I might be able to do that from South Carolina. The Alpha Geek.
Oh, pick for the week.
Looks like we are live on Alpha Geek Radio. I don't know how I managed to do that. Yeah, when do you guys want to check and make sure?
It says you're live on air too. Wow, we are just all kinds of live.
I'm like all into this technology and stuff. It's kind of amazing. So we should probably start the show just in case. Bail out of here early.
Sounds good. Do any of us have the theme music?
Nope.
Rob's going to sing it.
Sweet.
Are you ready, Rob? I'm gonna cue you in.
I'm not ready.
I'm just gonna go through my mail while you're doing that. Let's see, I got a bank statement.
I'm ready. I need to go. I would like to grab my pick for the week so I can show it. So hold on.
We can pick still? We're supposed to do this ahead of time? I'm guessing his pick is not a shot collar for the dog. All right, so yeah, I'll be in Greenville, South Carolina next week doing some training for a customer. And I could theoretically broadcast live class by 5. And I'll be on Eastern time, and then I can have dinner, and that would be, like 8:30. I could manage that.
Okay.
Okay. You ready, Rob?
Yeah.
For the show, and you're going to sing us in.
I am.
Okay.
You ready to go? Welcome to PNR Show, Season 3, Episode 29. Short show. I gave you a little blast from the past. That's the old HTMH, Happy Time Magic Tower theme show. But that's okay. Welcome to the Planet of No Return show. I'd rather have longer than life. There you go. Incidentally, a quick aside before I forget. The Poxy Boggards, the wonderful shanty pub Renaissance type band that provides our theme music normally, was actually featured on an episode of Hell's Kitchen last week.
Nice.
Cool.
The cooks were asked to do a kind of a meal to be served at sea. And while they were doing that, they had the Poxy Boggards come in and sing sea shanties from this little makeshift wooden pirate ship. So it's very, very cool. I think that their stuff, their part of it is going to be up on YouTube, or you can go to Fox.com and check out their part of the show. So congratulations to the Poxy Boggards. This is a big get for them. And
cool.
We're very cool to be able to bring some of their music to you. Okay, so today we are without Keith. Keith decided that his family was more important than his beer, which I think is bad priorities. So we just have Gary and Jeremy and me, myself, Rob. Hi, how are you guys?
Great. How are you?
Good.
I'm
very good. So we're closing in on Halloween. Do you guys have any big Halloween plans coming up? Anything special planned?
I'm working that day.
Woo!
I have to get on a plane the next morning pretty early, so
no plans. Nobody dressing up. Nobody coming up with a costume for Halloween.
About dressing up as an orange spray painted politician, but I decided against it because I don't want to get hurt by people.
That's fair. That's fair. I was very close to dressing up as Hodor, just getting like a big burlap sack thing and cutting out arms in it, and just walking around with a small little door in my hand. I don't know. I've thought I'd better, but I'm not a big dresser upper. Jeremy, are you doing anything for Halloween special?
Nope.
Yes! Awesome. We are taking, here's something. We are taking our dogs and some of our family members to the B52 Brewery this weekend. On Saturday, they're doing a Halloween party. So we're going to go. They're having a dog costume party and special giveaways and just beer and football all day. So we've been doing a lot of the local breweries lately, which has been fun. They've got some really great breweries around us, just in our town. Great like little beer garden set up. So it's very cool. I'm being picked up by the computer mic, not the headset mic, I'm told. So let me check that.
Wow, that's a lot quieter.
Now you're not being picked up by any mic, Rob. We're a professional grade podcast here, so just in case anybody was wondering on how to do a podcast, this is the exact example of how to podcast effectively and keep your audience entertained.
Yes. You would not believe the retention we have.
Yeah. We just lost our listener. It's really sad. So while Rob's figuring out his microphone, he's going to probably want to continue this story about taking his dogs to breweries, which I'm all for. We should maybe start to introduce the beer.
I think that is an awesome idea.
So we are drinking Eliason DayGlow IPA, which has tiger with lasers shooting out of its eyes on the bottles. Kind of cool bottle art. Jeremy, you picked this one up. You want to give us a little bit of background on this?
Yeah, everything I know about this beer is, well, I know two things. It says IPA on it, so awesome. And it has a label with a tiger with lasers shooting out of its eyes, so also awesome. That's everything I know about the beer. My intensive research before the show revealed that it's a medium-bodied IPA with pineapple and tropical fruit notes. So it sounds like something that you and I will probably enjoy. I'm looking forward to Rob's reaction, and it's from Seattle, so probably nice West Coasty kind of IPA going on.
Yeah, I've actually been to Eliason Brewery long before it got purchased by Anheuser-Busch InBev.
Oh, are they an Anheuser-Busch thing now?
They got bought, I want to say sometime in the last year or so-ish. So yeah, they're one of the sellout breweries.
Probably
it was a nice.
I could find a beer.
Yeah, their distribution got a lot better when I went there. They were only like a Pacific Northwest thing. So we had lunch, and I had some beers at Eliason Brewery. It's a nice little brew pub up in, I think it's called Capitol Hill. I could be wrong about that. My Seattle geography is not excellent. But it was good. I've enjoyed the beers of theirs that I've had, and was sad when they sold out. Let's see if it says in the bottle. No, it doesn't. All right. Rob, you still have no sound on you. So
I'm back. Well, I was waiting. You were talking, so I was waiting.
Okay.
Does that sound better now?
Yeah, Rob, are you looking forward to this beer?
I'm looking forward to you guys enjoying this beer. How's that?
Did you hear Jeremy's intro and the flavor profile?
I did. Oh, I got those grapefruit hops right away. Woo!
I'm only going to have a small sample because I may have to be driving my wife. So I'm just going to do the taster size for now.
I am pouring a full bottle, but no promises, or a full mug, but no promises it's the whole thing because it's a big one.
Yeah. This is a 22-ounce beer. It's a alcohol of 7.4 by volume, so
it's very fruity.
On the higher side for a single IPA. A lot of single IPAs are more in the 6 to 7 range. So,
although not a crazy range.
It's very fruity smelling.
Yeah.
Whew.
It is.
All
I
right.
can definitely smell pineapple in that.
All right, so these boys have been through enough. I've been putting them through, making them wait. So let's do this thing. Prost. Elysian DayGlow.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
Rob, you haven't fallen over yet or spit it out, so that's a good sign.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go first. They should just call this Elysian grapefruit beer because
Bison.
no, it's Elysian. Are you saying that that's what they say? That's how they pronounce it?
I don't know.
It's Elysian.
That's how okay, I believe you. Okay,
Hi, Kitty.
I brought my friend.
So the hops in this are so prevalent and so upfront. It's just all that citrusy hops. It's right on the tip at the very beginning all the way through. And it's just bitter, 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 bitter. So much so it really takes some effort to try to taste anything else. But there is some roundness. There is some roundness to it towards the back, and it's not undrinkable. So once again, this is an instance where I see what they're going for. I just don't care for it. So I think it's pretty good. With that being said, so I will give it a 7.
Pretty respectable score.
Yeah,
this is a very, very respectable score for Rob.
Yeah, it's definitely on the bitter side. The fruit is all in the nose to me. I'm not getting much in the way of tropical or pineapple in the taste. It's holding it ahead pretty well, and it's a nice golden color. Yeah, I'd like a little bit more in the flavor of the hops department, other than just bitter, bitter, bitter. Not that I mind that, but I think I'm with Rob on this. Actually, I think I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm enjoying it a lot. I would enjoy it more if it had a little more hop flavor rather than just the bitterness, but I like it. I would drink it again.
Yeah, this to me has a better nose than flavor. Like, it's got a really nice hoppy, florally, fruity flavor. When you give it a good sniff, it smells good. But to me, the flavor kind of flattens out a little bit. It doesn't kind of live up to the expectation of what I was hoping for when I first opened this and got that nice aroma coming off the pour. To me, the bitterness is a little bit of an off bitter flavor, not that kind of, delicious bitter hoppy flavor. It's a little bit more of not so good bitter. Maybe it's a older bottle. I don't know if they have a fresh kind of thing or what the deal is with this, but we've had them sitting in the cupboard for a little while, so maybe that contributed a little bit to the off flavors I'm getting. That being said, I'm going to go more on the 6 range for this, because it's not working for me quite the same way that it is working for the other guys. It's not bad. It's certainly drinkable. I'll have the whole bottle, because it'll probably taste better after I have a lot more of it. So I'll go with the 6 on this one. So yeah, good, not great. Beer Advocate says it's outstanding. They rated it a 91. Not very many reviews, though. I haven't checked on Untappd yet, so we'll have to see how that goes. Cool. Our average is currently a 7. Keith may check in later and give us his 2 cents on the beer.
Keith will drive up that. Keith will drive up that for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. He could come right in at a solid 7.
He'll like it. He'll like it. He likes the grapefruit beers.
To me, it doesn't have a lot of grapefruit flavor. So.
Oh wow! See, now there you're crazy.
Well, I mean, it's there, but it's not like as pronounced as it is in other beers. So
I get the more of the grapefruit pith flavor, not the fruit itself.
Yeah,
but definitely like chewing on the inside of a grapefruit. That sort of bitter.
Untappd rating is 4.
That's
And
close, right on it.
I have checked into this beer before. Good to know. I checked into it to 2014. Actually been when I was at the brewery, but maybe not. I might have picked it up when I was in Oregon. And I only gave it 3.5 stars then, which rounds up to a 7. So my 6 rating far off from my original rating.
Cool. Well, if Keith joins us a little bit later in the show, we'll certainly get him to guzzle down a beer. I'm sure he'll be ready for one, having to deal with the chillins all night long. So we're going to save our topic segment for the week, which was going to be our first annual PNR Show Spelling Bee. So I will tease this for the next show. I've got this ready to go. I've spent an inordinate amount of time on it to see how well these guys can do. It's going to be a 3-way competition, and I've got it all worked out, ready to go.
Everybody loves a good 3-way.
That's right. Well, yes. At least while we're by ourselves in the privacy of our own computers. Anyway, so we're just going to do our picks this week, and the guys, you can do 1 or 2 picks if you've got them, because we have a little bit of extra time and one less person. So with that, I'm going to go to Jeremy, which looks like he's got a show on NPR to talk about.
My pick is actually a new album from Bon Iver. The name of the album is 22 a Million. The link will be to an NPR article where I found it streaming, so you can listen to it.
Okay. Gotcha.
If you want. I don't know if you're familiar with this guy.
His name sounds familiar.
He won a Grammy a couple of years ago, and then quit making music as Bon Iver and made an album under the name Volcano Choir, which is also awesome. This is his latest, and it's really, really strange and experimental. If you look at the... Sorry, hang on.
Is that outside?
That's outside. Okay, rednecks are gone now.
Wow.
If you look at the link, you'll see some strange titles on the songs, and that kind of reflects the strangeness of them. This might be the only known instance in the universe of auto-tune being used in any kind of successful fashion. It's weird. The instrument that he used, I've read a little bit about this. It was kind of like this experimental thing put together, electronic-y. It's hard to...
They call it folktronica.
That's a pretty good description. Sonic glitch, pitch-shifted vocal, subtle banjo riff. It's weird, and it's really grown on me as I listen to it more and more. Check it out. You might find it amazing. You might find it disgusting.
I remember when he won the Grammy. I remember seeing like interviews with him and stuff. And
he won the 2012 Grammy for Best New Artist and Best Alternative Music Album.
I've seen his name pop up on Pandora and stuff. So it's definitely stuff I've heard before and am familiar with. Although to me, so I couldn't probably pick out a song of his.
So let me give you just a quick background on who this guy is.
One kind of funny thing is that he won the Best New Artist in 2012.
Yeah.
Been recording under Bon Iver since 2007. So
yeah. So after the breakup of his band, the Yarmond Edison, and the ending of a relationship, and a bout with mononucleosis hepatitis, Justin Vernon, he's the lead singer there, left Raleigh, North Carolina, and moved back to Wisconsin to spend the oncoming winter months at his father's cabin in Dunn County, Wisconsin. According to Vernon, it was during this time that the Bon Iver moniker first entered his mind. While bedridden with mononucleosis, he began to watch the 1990s TV series Northern Exposure on DVD. It depicts a group of citizens in Alaska where the show is set, emerging from their homes into the first snowfall of winter, and wishing one another Bon Iver, which means it's French for good winter. So he originally transcribed it as Bonnever. When he learned the proper French spelling, he elected not to use it because Hiver is spelled with an H, H-I-V-E-R. He decided that Hiver reminded him too much of liver, which was the site of his illness at the time.
Most convoluted story to get a band name I think I've ever heard.
So he's been compared. You look on Wikipedia. These are the groups he's been compared with: Beck, and a bunch of groups I've never heard of, but also Kanye West. So that's a really wide variety, just from those two. So it might be worth a listen just for the fun of it.
It's really experimental. It's an interesting album.
Yeah. All right. So there's Jeremy. I'll let you think about it in case you have another pick. You got one off the top of your head, or are you good? I
could do another if we come around to me.
Okay. Well, we'll go to Gary. Gary has a soundtrack.
I am also going to go with like Jeremy did. So I have a soundtrack. I have not seen the movie called After the Flood. It's a climate change oriented thing, but the soundtrack is done by Trent Reznor.
So After the Flood is before the flood?
Sorry, Before the Flood. I keep getting that confused because there's a song on the soundtrack called After the Flood. It starts off with a song called Before the Flood and ends with After the Flood.
Okay.
So the soundtrack is Ross, who together did the Social Network soundtrack, which I believe won the Oscar that year.
With Trent Reznor, yeah.
Yeah, and which is actually a really good soundtrack that I listen to quite often. So it's those two with Gustavo, last name.
Santaolalla.
And the band Mogwai, I guess how you say that? Mogwai. So it's mostly instrumental. There's one song that has lyrics in it, but I really like the work that Trent Reznor's done that is more of an instrumental, kind of experimental, just soundscape kind of music. 9 Inch Nails did the Ghost album, which was like 4 albums of just, they went into the studio to see what could happen and released it. It's really a great collection of audio. It just came out, I think, this week or last week. Want something to have on as music to kind of focus and background to without having to really pay attention to. It's really good for that. So I've been listening to it this week. I don't think it's quite on par with some of the other stuff. I think Social Network is a little bit better of a soundtrack, but still, it's a very good music to listen to. And Trent Reznor, I'm not a huge 9 Inch Nails fan, other than the Ghost album, like the typical 9 Inch Nails stuff. I mean, for whatever reason, but the instrumental soundtrack stuff that Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross put together, I really like and enjoy listening to. So if you enjoyed the other stuff they've done, I would highly recommend checking out the Before the Flood soundtrack. And it is on Apple Music if you have that. That's where I picked it up.
Cool. Okay, and if you want to think of another one to offer up, go right ahead. I'll give mine while they're thinking. I purchased my first growler this week, or this past week, and and I was looking for something on Amazon, me being all about the Amazon Prime, and I tried to find something that was the highest rated but was not prohibitively expensive. I know that there are growlers out there that can get rather steep, and for what I need or what I'm interested in, I don't need something that's that expensive. I mean, we are making more trips to the brewery these days, so I kind of would like to have a growler to bring with me to fill. So when I looked on Amazon, this one came up the highest rated, and so I decided to go with it. It's a 64-inch stainless steel growler by 45 degrees latitude, and looking at the company, it's stainless steel, insulated, keeps the cold drinks cold up to 24 hours, hot drinks hot up to 12 hours. It's got a nice screw off top and a big wide mouth for putting ice in if you want. It's double insulated. It doesn't sweat because of the black matte finish. It has different colored bands you can put around the lid, all those kinds of wonderful things. And the best part, at least for me, was that it's only $30. So it's really well made. Yeah, only $30.
For $30, that's pretty good.
For a 64-inch growler, I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
And it's got 630 customer reviews on Amazon, and it's rated 4.5 stars. So for anything with that many reviews to be rated that high, it's got to be something good. So it's really stoutly made. It's very durable and tough, and I have not used it yet, but I am going to recommend it just because I can tell this is going to work out great. I'm going to take this with me this weekend to our Halloween party at the brewery, and I'll come back and give you a report on it next week, but I'm really excited about it. So
cool. Thanks
give that a look and give it a try. $30, really, cannot beat that.
How long do they claim it keeps the beverages cold?
It will keep soda or beer cold up to 24 hours.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good price for that level of insulation.
Yeah, it's really good. So yeah, give that a try. My second pick of the week, I don't know if we've talked about I know we've talked about it on the show, but I don't know if anybody's given it a pick yet. I have caught up and watched the first 3 episodes now of Westworld.
Picked it last week. Stole it from you.
Oh, you picked it last week?
I did.
That's all right. I wasn't there. How can I can't help it.
You can.
So
no,
you can't help it.
I'd like to hear your take. I'd like to hear your take because I'm still halfway through episode 3.
I am really, really enjoying it. There's a couple reasons why. First of all, I think it's a great character study in where our society is today, and the types of interests and desires and fears and dreams that we have today as human beings, or really as Americans, are entirely different than those of 25, 30 years ago when the original movie came out about Westworld. And they're really doing a great job in portraying kind of the really the negative parts of humanity, but not so much just people being just plain evil. Well, there is that, or being depraved, which there is that, but also showing the humanity behind it. Like, whenever we consider someone evil, that person never really thinks of themselves as evil. They don't go around thinking that they're the worst thing alive and they're going to make life a living hell for everyone else. They generally think that they're doing the best or doing good for what they're doing. So it's interesting to see that kind of aspect of it. Not only what's happening in the park, but what's happening outside of the park, and everyone's motivations for the creators behind the park, what they're doing, their machinations behind it. If you don't know the story of Westworld, which the guys talked about last week, but if you're new to the show, first of all, thanks. If you haven't watched the show Westworld, it's kind of, think of it as Jurassic Park, but set in the Old West. Park goers pay an exorbitant amount of money to go to this, basically a preserve out in the West that features animatronic
They're androids.
animatronic Western androids, yeah, but they're next level androids, right? They're really interactive, and they're really, about as human, close to human as you can get.
Sex with them and think it's a person.
Yes, you can go in there. You can do whatever you want to the hosts. They call them the hosts of the park. You can kill them. You can have sex with them. You can fall in love with them. Anything you want. You just can't hurt any of the park goers. Well, the kick of the story is there's something wrong with these hosts. There's something. They've been exposed to a part of humanity that they can't quite deal with it, and it's starting to infect them like a virus. And it's starting to manifest itself in different ways where hosts are starting to make choices that differ from what they've been programmed to do. So, we have a bunch of different stories going on, trying to figure out what's going on with the hosts. Watching the new customers come in every week, what's happening behind the scenes, all this kind of thing. It's a great character study in humanity. And the second thing, and really the reason I like it too, is because I'm a very big fan of role-playing games. D&D I've talked about a number of times, Pathfinder, lots of different role-playing games that I've played. This is a great study on character development. We have characters that the players, if we're the dungeon master, we have characters that the players meet and interact with. And it's really cool to see how these characters basically reset themselves or are used in different roles and different storylines that the creators create. It's just a really good basic story on how a world is built. And I'm loving it. The actors are great. Jeffrey Wright, Anthony Hopkins, Evan Rachel Wood. There's just a ton of really fine James Marsden, who you know from the X-Men. Great actors on the show who are doing just a phenomenal job.
What's his name? Ed Harris.
Ed Harris, yes. Oh, Ed Harris plays the big bad on this show, who really
The big bad.
is trying to figure out what this place is all about. So supposedly on this week's show, we learn a lot about his character. But I think it's awesome. I'm really enjoying it so far. I know that some people's reviews have been kind of tepid, like it's okay. But I look at it in terms of a character study and a psychological study, and it's really fascinating to me.
Yeah, it's kind of like got this interesting style to it that is compelling, and it's not just the setting of the Western and that kind of stuff. It's sort of like the overall and how they have structured the show,
right,
and built the world that they're presenting this story in. Is got this like kind of, I don't know, style may not be the right word, but that's what I think of. The most compelling part of it.
Yeah, I think I'm really trying to think of a way to try to get my wife interested in it, because as a rule, she hates Westerns. But for me, watching Westworld, the 3 episodes of Westworld, the Western part of it is really kind of almost in the background. It's very much kind of a sci-fi.
That's secondary.
It's a sci-fi intellectual thriller kind of a show.
It is. I would try to get Gilly into it, but
the Western thing is just a place to have a set, right?
Yes,
it is. They do get a little violent though. There's some. They're shooting androids. They're not really people, but it looks like they're shooting people.
Sure.
And there's a lot of killing of the android hosts.
But if you've watched, and this is an HBO series, so if you've watched The Walking Dead or if you watched Game of Thrones, it's nothing you haven't seen before.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
So give Westworld a try. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
All right, guys. What do you got? Any more picks?
Yeah. I'll do another album. I've been listening to a collaboration between Jesu, who is a experimental musician, and Sun Kill Moon, who I don't know if you're familiar with Red House Painters.
No.
The vocalist from Red House Painters is now Sun Kill Moon, has been for a while. So his lyrics are kind of stream of consciousness storytelling style, where he's just kind of talking about something that happened. And that backed with this experimental kind of chunky, thick guitar from Jesu is a really interesting combination. It's the kind of music where I want to lay down in a dark room, turn off no lights, just loud music and just listen to it. And it's also interesting in that the first song I heard from it was the last song on the album, which is a 14-minute kind of, it's hard to describe. Anyway, it's just a long 14-minute story of a few days of his life. When I listened to the entire album...
Is that Gary playing the music? Someone playing it?
I don't hear the music.
No, it's people talking. My door's open, so you're gonna hear.
You're hearing a different stream of consciousness. The album on its own, like if you listen to the entire album straight through, it's really, really, really good as a chunk. Individual songs, like if at work, if I've had to stop and start, it doesn't work as well. It's kind of strange that way. But if I start at the beginning and listen to the whole thing, it's amazing. Interesting collaboration. I'll have a link to the Wikipedia page in the show notes.
Okay.
Gary's looking off screen. Gary's getting a message. We
He might have to
see
leave.
Gary's communicating. Yep. Off
Sorry.
screen. Oh, he's
Muted
frozen.
myself.
And he's back.
My errand. I was muted. Yeah, it's my errand. I have to go do my errand. So we're gonna have a really
we're gonna
short show tonight. Yeah, we gotta close it out since I'm the.
Gary's actually running the show, so we have to close it out on his time. So,
I could just leave it open and let it live stream for the whole time I'm gone.
I don't think that's good for you or us. So that's all right. We'll close up the show.
The cat could running by in the background.
Yeah, that's okay. So next week, sounds like we're going to be without Gary.
I'm a maybe. We got to do BYOB. I'll try to make it.
He's a maybe. We'll work out our schedule. It won't be on Thursday, but we'll come up with something. Anyway, so thanks guys for joining us. Give Elysian Brewing DayGlow IPA a try. We got a nice rating from all three of us, and check out our picks on Twitter and our website at pnrshow.com. All of our information is there. Just come check us out. Thanks so much for listening. Please tell your friends about us. Get us some more listeners. We'd love to hear that, and your feedback. All that stuff would be great. So, guys, any closing comments?
Drink more beer. Really.
Drink more beer.
And good luck. Good luck with the snow, Keith.
Good luck with it. Yeah, Keith's got a sick kid and some snow apparently coming for Halloween. So be careful, Keith. And so thanks, guys, for listening in. I'd rather have lager than life. I'll take a strong stout over strife. I'd prefer to confer with a half pint of ale and live a long life till my private parts fail. For life without liquor is to no avail. So bring me lager for life. There. No tag.